Season 1 of Modern Warfare 3 is absolutely ridiculous. We're getting so many events, operators, weapons, and just all around content that is hard to cover in one video. So I'm going to try my best to tell you everything coming in Season 1 of Modern Warfare 3. The best place to start is with the 9 operators we're getting in Season 1 of Modern Warfare 3. We're getting 9 total, and our 2 main title operators for this season are going to be Nolan and Dokupi, who are both members of the Kony group serving under Vladimir Makarov. And on top of that, we're going to get Milena Romanova from the Modern Warfare 3 campaign coming as the mid-season operator. The next 2 operators we're getting are going to be coming with a brand new Boys vs. the Supes event in Modern Warfare 3. We'll get A-Train and Firecracker as playable characters, but this will also coincide with the release of Season 4 of The Boys. On top of that, we're also getting a Dune-themed event from the Dune movie series. We're getting Paul Atreides and Fade Rathu. I'm pretty sure I said both those names wrong, and they're both operators coming in season. And on top of this, Call of Duty is also doing a partnership with the Walking Dead Those Who Live TV series premiering soon, where we'll get Rick and Michonne as playable characters in Modern Warfare 3. And I'm gonna run around just yelling, "Carl, Carl," while one-shotting zombies with a revolver, just because I want to roleplay Rick. And on top of this, we're getting 5 new weapons and 9 new aftermarket parts coming in the Season 1 launch of Modern Warfare 3. We're getting the XRK Stalker Sniper Rifle, the Ram 7 AR returning from Modern Warfare 2019, the Storm Ender EMP Launcher, which is going to be great against Killstreaks in multiplayer and against vehicles in Warzone, the HRM9 Compact SMG, and the TAC Evolver, which is going to come at some point later in the season, and it's a massive powerhouse of an LMG, which might become the new meta in Warzone. But as far as the 9 aftermarket parts go, here's what we got. The very first aftermarket part we're getting is the Jack Beholder. It's a rifling for the tier revolver, and it's going to turn it into a massive one-shot kill sniper rifle with quick aim down sights and better mobility. We're getting the Jack Purifier, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's an underbarrel flamethrower to torch your enemies. So if you've ever played Warhammer 40k or know what it is, you're going to purify your enemies in holy fire.
Burn in holy fire!
We're also getting the Jack Etten, which is a double barrel conversion kit for the AMR9, increasing the rate of fire and the damage output very effectively, but your recoil is going to go through the roof. We're getting the Jack Thunder King kit, which is going to be an LMG kit for the Sidewinder battle rifle. It's going to be a hard-hitting battle rifle with a huge magazine, and it's going to slap your enemy into next week. We're getting the Jack BRB, which is a new compensator for most weapons in Modern Warfare 3, and it's going to be the superior and almost top-of-the-line compensator that you will find in Modern Warfare 3, and if you're playing multiplayer or Warzone, this might be the compensator you need to use. However, we're also getting the Jack Bullseye, which is going to be a new low-profile dot optic with crisp and fast aim down sights. We're also getting the Jack Glassless Optic, which is going to be a small floating reticle that's going to give you better precision aiming and faster aim down sights as well. On top of this, we're getting the Jack Headhunter Carbine, which is going to be a 3-round burst conversion kit for the Rival 9 that's going to make it as effective as an assault rifle. And to top all of this off, coming at the launch, we're going to get 2 new Killstreaks. We're going to get the EMP, which will destroy all Killstreaks, equipment, and gear in the nearby radius, as well as slightly electrocuting players, which will honestly not be worse than sticking a fork and electrical outlet in the wall, but you know, it is what it is. And the other kill streak we're getting is the Swarm. It's going to give you a bunch of small mosquito drones that are going to target each enemy player on the map, totaling for about 6 total, which gives you basically 6 free kills as long as the enemy is outside of a building. It's going to be quick and effective, but it's going to take 15 kills to get there. It's definitely going to be better for your kind of objective-based game modes in Modern Warfare 3. And on top of all of this, Call of Duty is giving us 3 brand new multiplayer maps. The first is Meat, and get your mind out of the gutter, you dirty person. It's not that kind of meat. Meat is a West Coast butchery home to a butchery shop in a warehouse. It's going to be a typical 3-lane Call of Duty map, but the close quarters combat is going to be pretty narrow, and you're not going to be able to shoot across the map as easily as you would on most 3-lane maps. The next map we're getting is Rio, and it's not the Duran Duran song Rio, it's actually called Rio and set in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This map is going to be a mixture of a mall and a lot of close quarters combat in alleyways. This map was almost specifically made for assault rifle players because there's going to be a lot of really wide open spaces and a lot of narrow corridors that are going to go long straight distances. So it's going to be better for people who have a long range weapon, but there are a lot of close quarters combat areas, so you need to be careful of that. And the next map we're getting is possibly my favorite coming in this season. We're getting Greece. It's a multi-level map that's going to have different areas and different heights of where you're going to fight, and on top of that, it all backs up to a waterfront, so you're going to have to be able to swim and use the environment to your advantage, as well as try to get the high ground when you can, but in most cases, it will not often serve you the best, as you'll stick out like a sore thumb on top of these white buildings. And with the Season 1 launch of Modern Warfare 3, we're of course getting a couple new game modes. The game modes we're getting in Season 1 at launch are going to be Ranked Play, play, which is returning from Modern Warfare 3, and we're going to get gunfight. As far as ranked play goes, I recommend you check out the CDL website because they put some restrictions on guns you can use and how you have to move within the game itself. So definitely want to check that out before we go into ranked play, but the rules will also be listed once ranked play comes into season. And on top of this, Modern Warfare Zombies experience is getting a ton of new content as well. We're getting Act 4 coming to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies in Season 1. Act 4 is going to kind of pick up where Act 3 left off after you defeat the Rift Worm. However, the key piece of art for Act 4 in Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 of Zombies is that Dr. Jansen, the scientist you save, has purple eyes, similar to what Samantha Maxis had in the Cold War story, indicating that she might get some powers from the Dark Ether. On top of this, you're going to notice as you roam around the map in Modern Warfare Zombies, there's going to be a lot of crystals kind of poking out of the ground now. As Dark Ether begins to infect the world of Urzikstan a little bit more, there's a lot of changes you're going to notice, including rifts. Rifts are going to be a new challenge area that you're going to experience in Modern Warfare 3. These rifts are going to open up to different parts of the Dark Ether, and inside this, you'll actually have to fight different bosses and complete different challenges that are going to give you unique and specific rewards to be able to use in Modern Warfare Zombies. And one of the things we know is that Act 4 requires you to go into these rifts to complete these challenges, so keep that in mind when going through Modern Warfare Zombies. And while we're on the subject of it, Modern Warfare Zombies is also getting a really great new gun, the VR11. The VR11 is basically just an ultimate version of the Brain Rot. Anytime you shoot an enemy with the VR11, it's going to convert them to an ally. They will continue to attack all the enemies you're currently fighting. So if you shoot a human, they're going to turn on all the human allies and the zombies. If you shoot a zombie, they're going to turn on the rest of the zombies. And one of the things that we know about the VR11 is that it will work on most enemies that you're going to fight in Modern Warfare Zombies, including the Mauler and the Mimic. This basically means you can turn high-powered enemies into high-powered allies and help you defeat some of the tougher bosses you're going to encounter in Act 4 of Modern Warfare Zombies. And in season, we're going to get 5 new schematics for Modern Warfare Zombies. We're getting the VR11 schematic coming to season, so that way you can create it in your offline mode before you go into a raid. We're going to get a blueprint for the Rift Run Teddy Bear, allowing you to enter any rift and fight the enemies there. You're going to get a blueprint for a dog bone that will allow you to conjure a pet hellhound at any time you want. And if you're playing Modern Warfare Zombies solo, this is a really great ally to have. The next schematic is the Golden Armor Plate schematic. The Golden Armor Plate schematic is a schematic for a golden armor plate which will automatically build up the health of your armor plates by just having it equipped. Even if you break it all the way down to 0, it will still build up your armor over time. So this is going to be cool thing. It's going to be quite powerful in Modern Warfare Zombies, but it will not be seen in Warzone, which is a very important distinction. And last but not least, if you've ever had the urge to say, that's not a knife, this is a knife, then you're going to love this one. The Aether Blade is going to be the new blueprint we're getting, and it's the last one on the list. The Aether Blade is a brand new throwing knife with infinite ammo that when hits an enemy will bounce and ricochet to another enemy before returning back to you. This will actually be capable of one-shotting many low-level enemies all the way up into Zones 3. It's going to be very hard to find one of these blueprints or find the weapon itself in Modern Warfare Zombies, so I recommend if you do find it, hold on to it like your life depends on it, because it very well may in some of the Act 4 missions. And now the section that most everyone wants to hear about, Warzone, which is going to be a pretty good chunk of features and changes coming in season. First off, slide canceling is returning in Warzone, and it will not reset your tactical sprints. You can aim down sights while sliding as well, making this a very viable strategy and making it feel a lot like Warzone 1. On top of this, the tac stance will be usable in Warzone. The new tac stance came with Modern Warfare 3, so it's going to be great to see this in the game, although I'm not sure how useful it actually will be. You can also reload while sprinting with no penalties, and you will get a slight movement boost after using a stim. However, the stim boost cannot be stacked or chained together, so you won't be able to get an exponential boost off the stim speed up, and on top of that, there's going to be a slight cooldown between using stims of a couple seconds, but they will not reset your tactical sprint. They'll only give you a speed boost, a very important distinction that a lot of people ask for in the original Warzone. On top of this, we're also getting a ton of other things that are going to be improving the way you play Warzone. First off, since Modern Warfare 2 introduced swimming, one of the biggest complaints is that there's these dirty pistols that you use that automatically win you any gunfight when you're in the water, because you can fire a full auto pistol. So in Modern Warfare 3, you will always have a backup pistol, even if you do not have one equipped to your loadout. Even if you have 2 primary weapons, you will still have a backup pistol for when you're in the water or when you're climbing a ladder. This is just a great change overall, and it's something that a lot of people have been asking for since Modern Warfare 2 introduced swimming. On top of this, you can now manually equip your gas mask whenever you want, and the gas mask will be useful with the new gas grenades that will damage you slightly, but if you're wearing the gas mask, they'll have no effect on you whatsoever. And on top of this, the gas mask animation will not affect your gameplay. It will not cancel your your reload. It won't stop you from aiming down sights. It won't do anything other than just kind of pop up on your screen that you now have a gas mask equipped. This is something that we've been asking for since the very first day of Warzone, and I'm so happy we finally got it. But speaking of that new tear gas grenade, it's going to do constant damage while you're in the radius of it. You won't be able to aim down sights while being affected by the tear gas grenade. However, you'll still be able to hip fire your weapon. I highly see this as something a lot of players will use early in the game of Warzone, because if you can get a gas mask and a tear gas grenade, you can push any enemy and they won't be able to aim down sights, so you get a quicker chance to kill them and probably have faster time to kill overall. So I highly recommend that a lot of people use this in the very beginning of the game of Warzone, but towards the end, it's not going to be as helpful as you think it will. And on top of all this, we're getting dedicated ammo slots back in Warzone. In the original Warzone, you had dedicated ammo slots that would automatically fill up when you ran across that type of ammo, and it would fill up all different types of ammo for you. In Warzone 2, we had a problem where you only picked up the same type of ammo that you were using for your gun. So if you were using an AR or an SMG, you would only pick up AR or SMG ammo. And say you need to pick up a sniper rifle to pick off an enemy who's pretty far away, it wouldn't do you any good because you'd only have the amount of ammo as was in the mag of the gun when you picked it up. This caused a lot of problems and a lot of upsetness among players, because if you were using a sniper rifle and an AR, the last ring when you needed to pick up an SMG, you didn't have any ammo for it. You just had one mag, and most of the time you had to fight multiple enemies. Contracts are also getting a small change in Warzone. The new Warzone iteration is going to see contracts change from a cell phone activation to a laptop activation. This is because a lot of players found it hard to find the cell phones in rooms because they were so small, and laptops will be a lot bigger and they'll have a big bright screen, so you'll know exactly where the contract is anytime you enter that room. And one of the things that we're so happy to see is that Call of Duty is finally returning the classic red dot mini-map to Warzone. And this is something that we've been asking for since Modern Warfare 2 first released. And it was very frustrating as fans because the response that we got from Call of Duty when we told them that we wanted red dots back on the minimap was basically, we've heard your complaints, but at the end of the day, we feel we're right with our decision and that you're wrong as a player base, so we're going to keep it the way we believe it is. I'm not even joking. This is quite literally what they told us in their press interview a couple days after Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 first released. Call of Duty actually listened to us with Modern Warfare 3 because it cost them millions of dollars by not listening to the fans. Modern Warfare 3 and new iteration of Warzone are going to fix everything that we possibly could have wanted out of Call of Duty. And with all this, we're also getting a brand new vehicle in Warzone, the Coyote. The Coyote is going to be a new armored 4x4 vehicle with a machine gun mounted on top. However, the machine gun will have a high rate of fire at the cost of it overheating very quickly. And while the car is an armored 4x4, there are no windows, so you can easily get sniped out of the vehicle or get shot at because there's no protection for you inside the vehicle, just the armor plating on the sides around the doors and around the engine. And as well as all of this, Call of Duty's added 3 new incredible changes that I'm personally very excited for. The first is a drivable train. The train will be drivable in the sense that you can turn it left and right on the tracks, change tracks, you can speed it up, slow it down, throw it in reverse, throw a handbrake on it, and on top of all of this, if you can get to the conductor's cabin first, there will be a special legendary box in there along with the controls for the train. The problem with the train being is that it's not as fast as the other vehicles in game, and on top of that, it has a very predictable path on the train tracks. So if an enemy has a precision airstrike or a cluster strike, they're going to drop it right on your head, and many parts of the train do not have a roof. So you're going to get obliterated if you hang out on the train too long and try to make it a nice little camping spot. So don't set up a fireplace, don't put out a tent, and don't bring s'mores because camping on the train is probably going to get you killed. And with this, we're also going to get new horizontal zip lines. These zip lines will carry you between buildings, over rivers, over valleys, and across different parts of the map. And I highly recommend you take advantage of this, especially if you're trying to get in the zone or into the ring from outside. It's going to give you a quick way to traverse a lot of area very quickly. However, you will be a target because you will be suspended up in the air, and this is going to be something that's going to make you a very big target and a very obvious target to everyone around you. And the last feature I really want to talk about for Warzone is that Warzone snipers will once again be one-shot downs or one-shot kills. We're not going to have any more of this. You have to have incendiary ammo on your sniper rifle to down somebody in one shot. It's going to be an automatic down for most sniper rifles unless you pick a very weak sniper rifle like the Carrick 300. It might require 2 shots. So this is a kind of a warning. Pick out the best sniper rifle in Warzone. And I'll be making a Warzone loadout video as soon as we get into Warzone and play a little bit and figure out what the best weapons are, so make sure you subscribe for that. And the last thing I want to talk about is the COD-Miss event. COD-Miss is going to be a Christmas event for Call of Duty in which you're going to have a bunch of different things going on. First off, you're going to have to fight Zombie Santa at some point in Warzone if you play Warzone during the COD-Miss event. And Zombie Santa is going to have a minigun and going to be quite tanky, so he's going to take a lot of shots to kill, but he will drop very high tier rewards if you kill him. Along with this, Santa has scattered around the map different Christmas trees and present loot boxes that you can pick up and get specific rewards and high tier rewards. However, opening up one of Santa's special gifts in Warzone will also send up a flare alerting enemies to your location, and it might even summon Santa himself, which is now a zombified Santa you'll have to fight to the death. And much like the Halloween event with the Butcher in Modern Warfare 2, you're going to see that Modern Warfare 3 is going to have a rift that will take you to the North Pole to fight Santa, and if you do, you'll get a specific unlock reward that we don't know about yet, but it's going to be something very valuable for the CODMIS event. So I highly recommend you try it at least once during the CODMIS event. And if you really enjoyed the story of Modern Warfare 3 as far as the campaign goes, I recommend you check out this video right here, where I talk about the end of Modern Warfare 3 and kind of what comes next for the story. I highly recommend you subscribe down below for all of your Call of Duty content, and until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.